Alright, shalom, all praises be unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachah Kodash, Damyad, double honor unto the elder apostles and the elder bishops, excuse me, a great millstone who rule well, and who taught us his truth, and salutes unto the Arkim who continue to push the word in truth and in sincerity. And I came across this article on the Sky News app, so I saved it. And yeah, man, just more testament to the downfall of this place, and also further proving that the scriptures is true and is definitely coming to pass, and we are without a shadow of doubt in the last days. This is from the Sky News, and it says world economy entering perilous phase with UK to perform worst in G7 this year, IMF says. The IMF chief economist Pierre Olivier has said inflation is much more persistent than expected. I'm not going to play these because they'll just do the channel. And it says the world economy is entering perilous phase of low economic growth and high financial risk. The International Monetary Fund has warned in its latest set of assessments. The IMF, which is holding its spring meetings in Washington this week, downgraded its outlook for global growth and said its medium-term forecast for economic output was now at the weakest level since the fund began publishing these forecasts in 1990. However, its chief economist, Pierre Olivier, added that there were also more severe risks in prospect. He said, "We are entering a perilous phase during which economic growth remains low by historical standards and financial risks have risen. Inflation has not yet decisively turned the corner. Below the surface here, the turbulence is building and the situation is quite fragile, as the recent bout of banking instability reminded us. Inflation is much stickier than anticipated even a few months ago, while global inflation has declined. That reflects mostly the sharp reversal in energy and food prices, but core inflation, including the volatile energy and food components, has not yet peaked in many countries." I'll read this paragraph here. I'll put it, if Lord willing I remember, I'll put it in post-production. You can read it in entirety. I'm setting the main points. This is another paragraph further down. It says the UK has received an upgrade to its economic growth forecast this year and next, but it's nonetheless forecast to be the worst performing economy in the G7 this year, shrinking by 0.3%. UK gross domestic product is slated to rise to 1% next year. So overall, things are looking down for the world economy, but specifically for the UK, it's just been terrible, man. The worst performing. Now, as has been said to us by Elder Apostle Tahar, when things really, kick off, the UK or, brothers in England, as he said, will be tested first because, it's all engineered downfalls, right? But the point of it is order ab chaos, one of his main mantras, order through chaos, right? And what they're going to do is they're going to continue to crash economy until it hits rock bottom and crashes on the floor. And then they'll introduce the salvation of his salvation to the world, which is the chip. Okay. The only thing is though is that the economies have to crash first, and the UK is going to be tested first, most likely, man. Economic growth is at 0.3 and is expected to rise to 1% next year. So as the Elder Apostle has said, we could be here next year. But the point is, man, it's nose diving and there's no steering the nose back up, to ascend, into higher heights, man. It's just going down and it's going to continue to go down until the very bitter end of this place, man. Okay? But it just proves the point, man. This place is on its way out. Okay? The UK is the worst performing, man. Alright, now I'm going to get two scriptures. Bear with me. Where is Ecclesiastes, man. It's 12:3. Yeah, Ecclesiastes 12:3. In a day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the ground is ceased. The keepers of the house are your economists, your world economists, going all the way back up to the banking elite. They're trembling because things aren't looking good, man. All right, now, even though a lot of it's engineered, it ultimately is the Lord of Hosts making things happen, man. So even on a microeconomic level, they're scared, man, because like they're trying to pull it off, but there's no certainty that they're gonna actually do it, man. That's why they're doing a lot of witchcraft. They're pushing a lot of vibrations, trying to make things all like these Netflix series and stuff like Black Mirror and all of that. They're pushing hard, and a lot of their elites are dying. Evelyn Rothschild's dead, Queen's dead. So they're trying to push their enterprise, as the scripture says, man. So they're trembling, and the strong men shall bow themselves on the ground and cease, because there are few jobs, man. The economies are shrinking. Things are going AI. Jobs are being lost out here, man. And those that look out the windows be darkened, and doors in the streets be shut. Businesses closing up. Banks falling through. When the sound of the ground is low, he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So all the mirthing is slowly getting put down, man. Because people are realizing it's a tough world out here, and financially it's just not working out for these economies, man. But ultimately it's all going to end up in a chip. Okay, but yeah, man, the worst performing, that's big, man. The UK being the worst performing, that's just testament to this place going down. I mentioned it, so I'll read it. This is the chip, the final major prophecy to come to pass on this side is Revelation 13, and I'll start from verse 16, and it says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and the foreheads." That is the chip, man. That's the chip. If you go into the blue letter, you get into the word there, charagma, karatz, to insert, cut it in the flesh. That is the implantable RFID microchip, man. Okay? But again, for them to get to that level and make it a thing of urgency and causation, there has to be propaganda, there has to be collapses, there has to be downfalls. So it's no doubt, or no shock, I should say, without a shadow of a doubt, that this here article that's been released saying that the UK is the worst performing, although it strikes fear into them, it's in line with their agendas, man. Because their thing is, they want to get everyone chipped. Okay? That's their agenda, to get everybody chipped, man. So yeah, that's just a quick update, man. The UK has been pronounced the worst performing out of the G7, man.